Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell, and in today's video, we're going to continue looking at our management styles. So in the previous video, we looked at the autocratic and the persuasive style. And in this video, we're going to kick off with the consultative management style, which is now where the manager begins to seek feedback from the employees before they make the final decision. So it's still centralized decision making. The manager is still making the final decision. They're making the decision themselves. However, there is now two-way communication. In the previous video, both styles had one-way communication. Now the consultative style has two-way communication because the manager is consulting the employees or seeking feedback from the employees. So therefore, the manager is starting to value the input from the employees, and then they can use that information and those ideas. If the employees have any great ideas or have any information that can help the manager make a more informed decision or a stronger decision. So when is it best? Well, if we look at the tasks, it can be effective for both kinds of tasks, but sometimes now it's better for more complex tasks where the manager needs to gain different perspectives or more in-depth information to make a more informed decision. It's going to be more time consuming to actually make a decision using the consultative management style because now the manager is going to the employees to gather this feedback, to seek their ideas before making a final decision. In terms of experience, it can be really positive when the employees have experience, have knowledge of the situation at hand. They may be able to put forward ideas. They may be have lots of experience where they can put forward really solid ideas that the manager may not have considered. And all of a sudden, that brings different perspectives into the decision-making process. And in terms of manager preference, well, some managers really value the input of their employees and they feel that they can possibly get more buy-in from the employees if they've included them in the decision-making process. Now, the employees are not making decisions here, but they are starting to be part of the decision-making process. In terms of advantages, well, it can help the manager make a more informed decision by gathering those ideas and that feedback. There's a larger pool of ideas using the employee knowledge and experience, or like as I mentioned, starting to get different perspectives on the situation, which can help gain a larger pool of ideas. More likely to get buy in from the employees because of their involvement. And now the employees start to feel more valued because the manager's coming to them first before making a final decision. However, it is more time consuming to actually make decisions. And look, if the manager is going to consult lots of different employees, there's a fair chance that in the final decision, some of those ideas will be overlooked, which can cause resentment or conflict, or for some employees, make them to feel not as valued as some of the other employees whose final sort of ideas have been included in the final decision. And some employees may not have the knowledge or experience to effectively contribute. And so, therefore, they feel uncomfortable actually being asked for their opinions and their feedback if they lack that experience. Now we move to the participative management style. This is where the manager starts to collaborate with the employees because the manager and the employees are now making decisions together. So as a result of that, the manager and the employees making the decisions together, we call that decentralized decision making. There's two-way communication because the manager and the employees are working together. They're discussing ideas and they're coming to a resolution or to a decision themselves. So the employees are really encouraged to put forward their ideas and discuss those ideas. And the employees, as a result of that, can feel valued. They're a really valued part of the decision making process so that the manager understands that they've got knowledge and experience that can really contribute to the business and contribute to decisions. So they include them in that. If we look at our areas of where it's best, it's often best when the tasks are actually complex and discussion needs to occur. So there's some problem solving that needs to occur. The employees can bring in the different perspectives and start to discuss the best way to move forward. So best when there is more time available so that those solutions, those ideas can be discussed to make sure that the most appropriate decision is made. It's also best when the employees have the experience and in-depth knowledge to contribute to that decision-making process. And some managers simply have a preference to empower the employees and utilize their skills and knowledge, understanding that they have real value that they can bring to help make informed decisions within the business. In terms of advantages, can result in really effective problem solving and stronger decisions due to the collaboration decision making process. The employees have a sense of ownership over the decisions, and therefore it improves the buy-in, so they're more likely to be on board with decisions that are made because they've had that real key involvement and they're making the decisions with the manager. Can result in improved employee as a result of that, because the employees are involved in the direction of the business and how things actually work day to day. Greater pool of ideas, once again, and different perspectives are brought into the conversation, which can help make a really a stronger decision. But it is more time consuming if we look at the disadvantages. There can be disagreements about the final decision, which can cause conflict between employees or between the manager and employees if they disagree on what the best decision is. And it can also, we can argue that it can weaken the authority of the manager because now the employees are far more involved in the key decisions within the business. And our final management style is the laissez-faire management style, which is where the manager gives full autonomy and trust to the employees to carry out the tasks and make decisions. So it's a real hands-off type management style. The manager is leaving the employees to go about their business and make decisions that they need to make. So the employees are provided that autonomy where they get to work on their own to carry out their work. The employees are able to make their own decisions, so fully decentralized decision making. Employees work independently. There's minimal management involvement. So what that doesn't mean that there's no management involvement. The manager can still set objectives, set budgets, set targets on what they want the employees to achieve, but then they hand over to the employee to decide on the best way to go about achieving those objectives. And so the manager can bring in support where required, but they don't necessarily interfere with the daily operations. They let the employee do their work. There are four key areas. It can be used for relatively simple tasks. If the manager just wants to go, look, I trust you to do these very simple tasks, therefore off you go, I'll let you go, do your work. However, it can also be beneficial for really specialized tasks where the employee is the actual expert. Yes, the manager may be leading the team or leading the employees, but they know that the employees are the specialists in their field and they let them do what they do best. So it can be used when time is critical so that there can be multiple people responsible for different tasks and therefore they're sharing the workload, or also when the employee has time to complete large projects. So when there's lots of time available, so you can really sort of different scenarios where it can work there. In terms of experience, it is best when the employees are highly skilled, highly experienced, and are able to work independently, and the manager can trust them to do the work and achieve the objectives. And in terms of manager preference, the manager that uses that style has a real preference for the employees to have full autonomy and freedom to get the job done. There's a full trust there in them making decisions and in terms of how they're going to achieve objectives. And in terms of some advantages, well, it can lead to improved creativity within the business because now the employees really can let their creative minds flourish. They've got full autonomy, which can improve motivation. However, some disadvantages, there can be lack of direction within the business, especially if the manager steps back too much. There can also be misuse of resources due to that loss of management control. There's lots of trust provided to the employees, and it can also lead to poor performance if the employees don't have the skills or experience required, and possibly they need more management direction. And so that's one of the drawbacks that can happen if there are a lack of skills and experience. So just to recap, there was a lot that we went through in those two videos, and there's a lot you need to know in these management styles, and they're heavily assessed. But a management style refers to how a manager really leads their employees and makes decisions to achieve the business objectives. There are 5 key styles in our study design: the autocratic, where they're telling the employees of the decision; persuasive, they're convincing or selling the employees on the decision; consultative, all of a sudden they start to seek feedback from the employees before the manager makes the decision; and the participative, we transfer now to decentralized decision making because the manager and employees join together to make decisions. And the laissez-faire is fully decentralized, which the manager provides the freedom and autonomy to employees to do the work and make key decisions to achieve the objectives that they've been set. So that brings us to the end of this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video where we're getting towards the end now of outcome 1. In the meantime, just remember, for questions, activities, and help in your VCE journey, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.